Well, did I happen to mention that it's National Margarita Day tomorrow? To help us celebrate is the National Portfolio Ambassador for Remy Cointreau, Reed Pettit. And thank you so much for being on the show with us. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, good. Okay, so if you could just maybe lay out the ingredients list for a traditional margarita. What goes in it?
Okay, so the history of the margarita goes back a little bit. 1948, created by Dallas socialite Margaret Sames. Now, the original margarita has only a few key ingredients, that being your favorite tequila,
Right.
Cointreau, which is a French orange liqueur, lime juice, salt, and ice. And that's
Okay.
it. That's all you really need to make the perfect margarita.
So what's the importance of the Cointreau? Like, give me sort of that's what you're sort of specializing in here today, and people leave that out sometimes, and that should never be left out.
Yeah, there are different variations for the margarita over the years. It's gone from the picador into something like a strawberry margarita, a jalapeno
Yes.
margarita. You can use different flavors in teas, different agave syrups or sweeteners. The original started with Cointreau, and you can find it at the base of hundreds of cocktails around the world. And the best part about it for this cocktail is it comes from sugar beets. It also has sweet and bitter orange peels in the flavoring, and it works together as a beautiful balancing agent for the citrus and the lime juice and the tequila as well. So it is a perfect balancing act when it comes to creating a cocktail. You want to have everything in the proper proportions, and Cointreau helps a margarita sort of elevate it to the next level.
And that's what gives it that nice, refreshing flavor, right? You never want it to be too sweet, as you say. What's the importance of the salt on the rim of a margarita?
Just like in cooking, salt is your flavor enhancer.
Sure.
And then if you want to change things up a little bit, we use kosher salt for the most time. But if you want to change it, you can use some Malden salt, some smoked salt, pink Himalayan salt, some tahini, anything you really want to do to take your margarita in another direction. The salt is a big factor in that.
Okay, well, you're going to make one for us today, aren't you?
I'll make one really quick. That way
sure.
people can see it, and it's super easy. So 2 ounces of your favorite tequila. You'll use 1 ounce of Cointreau.
I have a question for you about the tequila. Some people say, oh, you can just use a really cheap tequila in a mixed drink. And then some people said, no, actually, you shouldn't do that because you should still use a good quality. What's your opinion on that?
Technically, you could. Should you? That's a different conversation. But I think if you're going to be making something at home or something for dinner for your friends, anything like that, you always want to use the best ingredients on hand. So that's why I think you want to go with a nice tequila and obviously go with the Cointreau over something of a lesser quality. And
sure.
Yeah, so we've added in 1 ounce of lime juice as well. So 2 ounces tequila, 2 ounces Cointreau, 1 ounce of lime juice to a shaker tin filled with ice. I'm going to go ahead and give that a quick little shake. And then I'm going to strain it over ice into a rocks glass that has been rimmed with our kosher salt. And that's your original margarita.
Original. Okay, so now we talked about the different combinations of using, all different flavorings and salt. You see sometimes people put sugar on the rim. What is your favorite combination if you got really creative with a drink and you made a really kind of cool margarita? What would you do?
I don't like to steer too far from the original. My favorite would be to add a few slices of jalapeno and maybe a little bit of cilantro in there as well to create something that's going to be a little bit more festive, have a little bit more spice to it, a few more little flavor profiles, and sort of steer in the direction that I would like to have it. But I'll stick with the classic for sure. Yeah,
you'll just go with the classic. So tomorrow is the official day. Will you be making a few margaritas tomorrow, I imagine?
I think all my friends and family expect me to be making some margaritas for National Margarita Day tomorrow, of course.
Absolutely. All right. Well, again, we'll connect everybody with all your socials. And, of course, people can go to the Cointreau website, and they can find out all kinds of really great recipes as well and how to use it in different ways. So thanks so much for coming on the show. Reed Pettit, we appreciate it.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.